Today we're going to take a look at this Thrustmaster side stick that I recently picked up. It's brand new, it just came out. I just ordered it from the Microsoft store, and it's the Airbus edition. I picked this up for general simming. Let's jump over to the desk and we'll take this out of the box and see what's inside. This is pretty cool. This is a complete replica of the side stick found in the Airbus planes. I was looking for a side stick for doing emulation stuff, mostly old Sims and DOSBox and things of that nature for emulating. Pretty general box stuff. It's talking about the HEART, H-E-A-R-T Precision, stands for the Hall Effect Accurate Technology, and from what I understand, it is, instead of having physical parts for the sensor for the joystick, it's all magnetic, which is pretty cool. Program up to 256 buttons on the joystick. That's really cool. Apparently the target programming software is pretty in-depth and allows you to do a whole bunch of cool things with it. What I really liked about this is that you can switch it from left-handed joystick to a right-handed joystick, because in the Airbus planes, the captain is on the left and the co-pilot is on the right, and you can switch that. There's a toggle on the bottom of it, and we'll get to that in a moment too, and I'll show you all that. There's a whole feature set for this joystick that's supposed to come out. Flying clamp that you can hook everything up to on your desk, the rudder pedals, the TCA quadrant. Let's open this thing up, see what's inside. This is what I really wanted to share with you. Let's make sure that there's nothing else in the box first. There are the pieces, the side pieces, which I will pull out because I think this is super cool that you can toggle it back and forth. Being an ambidextrous side stick is cool for so many different reasons. As I was saying, being an ambidextrous side stick is really cool for a bunch of different reasons, but I know with the space flight sim games you can hook two of these up and then have one in each hand, which would be super cool. So to start, you have the joystick itself, turns back and forth. From what I understand on the Airbus, the red button for the pilot toggles something of a autopilot feature. For me, if I'm doing something like flying an X-wing or an A-wing, I'm probably gonna map one of these buttons to shoot. I'm not sure how to set this up yet, but you have this button here, a multi-directional button for looking through your cockpit, which is super cool. The throttle is on the bottom. You can go all the way to the top. Cool thing about this joystick is that once you get down to the bottom here, you have a reverse throttle, which is really neat. Not sure how that's gonna play out in using it, but I did read online a lot of people were not too stoked about this throttle because apparently it's really easy to accidentally go into that bottom 10 to 15%. And people don't always get the results that they want through doing something like that. But I mean, it could be a little bit more obvious where that is, where it ends and where it starts. But I think what would be really cool is if you had this set up, because it's mapped as an extra button. Once you go down to the last 15%, you're in the bottom of the throttle, and then if you go all the way to the bottom, apparently that's another button. I would map that so that hits reverse instead of the bottom quadrant if I can do that. I think I can in the targeting software, so I'm gonna check that out. These side buttons can map to a bunch of different things. Again, I'm not familiar with flight sims, so I'm not sure what people would map these different buttons to. I can see if you are left-handed that you would use your right hand over here. It'd be kind of difficult to do the crossover to get your other buttons, but I'm not sure if you would need all 12 buttons all the time or if it's just a convenience thing. But yeah, if you're a multi-hand stick flyer, then maybe it's not a problem. If you level out your plane, maybe hit an autopilot, the plane's flying on its own, and then you can hit one of the other buttons for whatever you're going to toggle it for. Super smooth. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with modern joysticks. I come from the old Microsoft Sidewinder days. It's quite a while ago now. Spring's pretty good. Bounces right back to center. Buttons are nice and clicky. All in all, I think this looks pretty nice. There's a trigger in the front here. I was doing some reading, and I guess people use this for brakes, I think. You know, a joystick layperson such as myself would probably want to use it to shoot at things. It feels like a good trigger. Flying in an X-wing or an A-wing and shooting at things. Using these for missiles, maybe. I'm not sure. At the bottom, we can take a look at this. Here we have the left and right switch. So let me grab the other pieces and I'll show you how this can transform. Looking at the instructions, we can see that there are a couple screw holes here on the joystick. All you have to do is unscrew these and it'll loosen up each of these sides. So we can take these off and switch them around for their opposite buttons. And of course, in the real Airbus plane, if you were the co-pilot, these buttons would be switched around. The red would be on the left side, the black would be on the right side. The cool thing about it, for somebody who, maybe such as myself, who isn't necessarily going to be flying in Airbus in like MS, Microsoft Simulator, Flight Sim, is I can have two on there if I want, or I can have two black ones, and it's totally symmetrical on both sides, so I can use either my right hand or my left hand for flying, and it doesn't really matter. So I'll play around and see what I like most about that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really cool joystick for playing old flight sim games and you know, in DOSBox and things like that. Even old arcade shooters, you could play around with this. That would be really cool. When I was a kid, I used to play Midtown Madness all the time on joystick. Not exactly the type of game, you know, driving cars around with a joystick. It's not usually what people do, but that was fun when I was a kid. Yeah, definitely looking forward to playing a game like Star Wars Squadrons on this. And yeah, that's about it. Pretty quick video. I just wanted to show this to you guys, and hopefully if you are looking for a joystick yourself, this gives you some additional information. I did an extensive amount of research when it came to choosing a joystick, and for the price point, this was brand new, and for the price point, this seems like a really high quality stick. I like that the joystick itself doesn't have any physical connections, so hopefully the magnetic sensors will last a really long time. It was either between this or the old Logitech, was it the 3D Pro, I think, joystick? I'll throw a picture of that up so you know what I'm talking about. It's like half the price of this, but it's also 14 years old. Pretty good from what I understand for the price point, but I wanted something just a little bit more than that. Thrustmaster has a whole bunch of other sticks. This apparently, the base and everything is kind of modeled, is sort of modeled after one of their older sticks. Also an ambidextrous stick, which I was looking at, which I really liked. But this was a little bit more muted. That one had like an LED light in the base, which I wasn't fond of because I'm not really into the whole RGB lighting thing. You know, I just want something that looks cool. The blue, the black, it's all good. So anyways, I'll stop waffling on. If you have any questions about this, let me know down in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions if you're looking for a flight stick and you have questions about this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.